Hello friends, my name is Mayanka. I am accounts and a finance trainer from UPlus. Today we will cover the topic of accounting for partnership. In this class we will cover the basic concept of accounting for partnership. In part 1 we have covered what is the partnership, what is the partnership agreement, what is the partnership deed, and some other relevant essential points of the partnership deed and partnership. And we have also discussed some provision which is important for the accounting purpose. In this video, we will discuss the accounting for partnership and all other important and the relevant point of this topic. Now we will start our video. Partnership. Accounting for the partnership. Distribution of profit among the partners. Now we will discuss the distribution of the profit among the partners. The profit and the loss of the firm are distributed among the partners in the agreed ratio. In the case of partnership firm, when two and more partners are entered into the partnership, then they will distribute the amount of profit or the amount of loss between them at the specific rate. If the partnership deed which is prepared by them does not contain any provision in the respect of profit sharing or the loss sharing, is that if the partnership deed is silent, then the firm's profit and the firm's loss are to be divided equally. If the partnership deed does not contain any provision in the respect of profit sharing or loss sharing, then the amount of the profit and the loss are to be divided or are to be shared equally by all the partners. For the example, there is a partnership firm in which Ram and Shyam, two partners, and the amount of the profit is 10,000 rupees. But in the respect of such sharing, the partnership deed does not contain any provision. So such amount of 10,000 rupees will be divided between Ram and Shyam into 1:1, means 5,000 to Ram and 5,000 to Shyam. But if the partnership deed contains the provision that the profit will be divided between Ram and Shyam in a particular ratio, then such profit will be divided in this ratio, not half and half, not equal. So the amount of partnership, the amount of profit or profit and loss of the partnership will be divided or will be shared between partners in the agreed ratio. In the case of partnership, it is contain certain adjustment such as interest on drawings, interest on capital, salary to partner, commission to partner are required to be met. In the case of partnership, when we calculate the amount of profit, then all the relevant adjustment like interest on capital, interest on drawings, and salary, remuneration of partner, commission to the partner are required to be adjusted. For this purpose, a profit and loss appropriation account. For the purpose of calculation of profit and loss of the partnership, a profit and loss appropriation account is prepared because on the basis of such a profit and loss appropriation account, we can, or the partners can, know about the appropriate figure of the profit or the actual amount of profit and loss. After calculating the amount of profit and loss, such amount of profit or such amount of loss is distributed among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. On the basis of profit and loss appropriation account, the partners will calculate the amount of profit and the amount of loss. Then after the calculation, such profit or such loss will be divided between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. Now we will discuss profit and loss appropriation account. What is the profit and loss appropriation account? Profit and loss appropriation account is mainly an extension of profit and loss. The profit and loss appropriation account is a extension of profit and loss. It shows how the profit are appropriated or distributed among the partner. Profit and loss appropriation account is an account which show the detail in the respect of profit which are appropriated or which are distributed between the partner. In the case of profit and loss appropriation account, all the adjustment related to partners interest on capital, partners salary, partners commission, interest on drawings, all other transactions are required to be made in this account. And after all this adjustment, the amount of profit and the amount of loss is calculated. And such amount of profit and such amount of loss is distributed among the partner in their profit sharing ratio. Now, there are some journal entry which are required to be made for the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account. The journal entry for the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account and making the various adjustment through it are as follows. Now, we will discuss some journal entries which are required to be made for the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account. So, these accounting entries are: number 1, transfer of balance of profit and loss account to profit and loss appropriation account. First, when the amount of profit and loss account is transferred to profit and loss appropriation account. Number A, point A. If a profit and loss account show the credit balance, if the amount of the profit, then we will pass the journal entry profit and loss account debit to profit and loss appropriation account. If there is the amount of profit, then such amount of profit will be transferred to profit and loss appropriation account. Then the entry will be profit and loss account debit to profit and loss appropriation account. If the profit and loss account show debit balance, means there is the amount of loss, then such amount of loss will be transferred to profit and loss appropriation account from profit and loss account. In this case, the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to profit and loss account. In this case, the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to profit and loss account. So this is the accounting entry which is required to be made to transfer the amount of profit from profit and loss account to profit and loss appropriation account. The next is interest on capital. In the case of interest and capital, the entry will be point A, for allowing interest on capital. For allowing the interest on capital, entry will be interest on capital account debit to partners capital account or partners current account. The entry will be interest on capital account debit, interest on capital account debit to partners capital account in the case of fixed method, in the case of fluctuating method, and to current account in the case of fixed method. So, and when we will transfer such amount of interest on the capital to profit and loss appropriation account, then the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to interest on capital. When we transfer interest on capital to profit and loss appropriation account, then the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to interest on capital account. Number 3, interest on drawings. Interest on drawings. In the case of interest on drawings, there will be 2 entries. Number 1, for charging interest on drawings, for charging the amount of interest on drawing to partners capital. Then the entry will be partners capital account debit, current account debit, partners capital account debit or current account debit to interest on drawings. Partners capital account debit to interest on drawings. And now we will transfer such interest on drawings to profit and loss appropriation account. The amount of interest on drawing transferred to profit and loss appropriation account. Then the entry will be Interest on drawings account debit to profit and loss appropriation account. Interest on drawings account debit to profit and loss appropriation account. Partner's salary. In the case of partner's salary, the entry will be first for allowing partner salary to the partner's capital account means first we will due the amount of salary to the partner. The entry will be salary to partner account debit to partner's capital account or partner's current account. Salary to partner's account debit to partner's capital account or to partner's current account. For transferring such partner's salary to profit and loss account, the next entry for transferring the partner's salary account to profit and loss appropriation account. In this case, the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to partner's salary account. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to salary to partner's account. What will be the accounting entry in the case of partner's commission account? In the case of partner commission account, there are two entries. Number one, for crediting commission allowed to partner's capital account. First, we will credit the amount of commission to the partner's capital account. In this case, the entry will be commission to partner account debit to partner's capital account or to partner's current account. Partner's commission account debit to partner's capital account or to partner's current account. Then the next entry to transfer the commission, to transfer the amount of commission to the profit and loss appropriation account. Then the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to commission to partner's capital account. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to commission to partner's capital account. And the next is a share of profit and loss after the appropriation. After all the entries are made in the appropriation account, then calculate the amount of profit or the amount of loss, and such amount of profit or such amount of loss distributed among the partners. In this case, if there is the amount of profit, then the entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to partner's capital account or to partner's current account. But if there is the amount of loss, then the entry will be partner's capital account debit oblique partner's current account debit to profit and loss appropriation account. If there is the amount of loss. So these all are the accounting entries which are required to be made for the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. On the basis of example, we can understand how to prepare profit and loss appropriation account. Sameer and Yasin are partners with a capital of rupees 15 lakh and 10 lakh. Means the capital of Sameer is 15 lakh and the capital of Yasmin is 10 lakh rupees. They agree to share profit in the ratio 3:2. Means the amount of the profit or the amount of the loss will be distributed between them in the ratio 3:2. Show how the following transaction will be recorded in the capital account of the partner in case when the capital are fixed and the capital are fluctuating. And the books are closed on 31st March every year. So in the case of Sameer or in the case of Yasmin, additional capital introduced 3 lakh rupees and by Yasmin 2 lakh rupees. Interest on capital 5% per annum. Drawings 30,000 and 20,000. Interest on drawings 1,800 in the case of Sameer, and in the case of Yasmin it is 1,200. Salary 20,000 and 7,000. Commission only for Sameer 10,000 rupees. Share of profit 60,000 and 40,000. For this is for the year 1920. Now, first we will prepare the partner's capital account on the basis of fixed capital method. In the case of fixed capital method, two accounts will be prepared. Number one is capital account. Number two is current account. The capital account contain only opening balance of capital, and if there is any amount which is introduced as a capital or the amount which is withdrawn from the capital will be entered. Otherwise, all other transactions are to be made in partner's current account. So the amount of opening capital of Sameer and Yasmin is 15 lakh and 10 lakh. The capital which is introduced at the time of partnership. Now, in the current year, they introduce 3 lakh rupees and 2 lakh rupees. So it will be entered in the partner's capital account, bank account. By bank account, 3 lakh and 2 lakh. Now, the closing balance of partner's capital account is 18 lakh and 12 lakh. Now, the closing balance of the partner's capital account is Sameer 18 lakh and Yasmin 12 lakh rupees. Now, we will discuss partner's current account. It will contain all the details or all the transaction. So, first, two drawings. The amount of drawings is 30,000 and 20,000. It is 30,000. And interest on drawings, two interest on drawings is 1,800 and 1,200. And interest on capital is 82, which is the 5%. Which is the 5%. So the 5% of capital is 82,500 in the case of Sameer, and in the case of Yasmin, it is 55,000 only. Partner salary 20,000 of Sameer and 7,000 of Yasmin. Commission only for the Sameer, which is 10,000 rupees. And the sharing of profit and the amount of profit which is shared between Sameer and Yasmin is 60,000 and 40,000 rupees. Now we will calculate the balance, the amount of balance. In the case of Sameer, current account is 1,40,700. 1,40,700 is the Sameer's current account balance. And in the case of Yasmin, the balance is 80,800 rupees. 80,800 is the amount of Yasmin's current account. Means in the fixed capital method, two accounts are prepared, capital account and current. Now we will discuss some working notes so that we can understand how these amounts are calculated. Mostly amounts are given in the question. Now there is a requirement to calculate the interest on capital. In the case of interest, the rate is 5%. The rate is 5%. So in the case of X, 5% on 50 lakh. 5% on 50 lakh. Then for the period of 1 year, because it is the capital which is already input. It is the opening capital. So 15 lakh into 5% for the period of 1 year. It is 75,000 rupees. And the amount is also introduced as the capital in the mid of the year. Means on October. 1st October, the amount is also introduced. Then October to March, 6 months, and the rate of interest is 5%. And the amount of the capital which is introduced, 3 lakh rupees. Then the entry will be, the amount of interest will be 3 lakhs into 5% into 6 months. It will be 7,500. So the total amount of interest on capital, 82,500 rupees. 82,500 rupees is the total amount of interest on capital of Mr. X. In the case of Mr. Y, 5% on opening capital for the period of 1 year. It means 5% on 10 lakh, means 50,000 rupees. And 5% on the capital which is introduced in the month of October, means for the period of 6 months. 2 lakh rupees capital introduced into 5% for the period of 6 months. It will be 5,000 rupees. Then the total amount of capital, total amount of interest on capital in the case of Yasmin is 55,000 rupees. In the case of Yasmin, the total amount of capital interest is 55,000 rupees. So now we will discuss another method. In the fluctuating capital method, only one account is prepared. In the fluctuating capital method, only one account is prepared, which is known as partner's capital account. And it is contain all the transactions are made in a single account. So the opening balance is 15 lakh and 10 lakh, 15 lakh and the 10 lakh. And the amount which is introduced during the period is 3 lakh rupees and 2 lakh rupees. Samir introduced 2 lakh rupees and Yasmin introduced, Samir introduced 3 lakh rupees and the Yasmin introduced 2 lakh rupees. Interest on capital 82,500 and 55,000 in the case of Yasmin, and in the case of Samir it is 82,500 rupees. Partners capital as per the question 20,000 and 7,000 rupees. Commission as per the question 10,000 rupees. Sharing of profit and loss appropriation account 60,000 and 40,000. It is also given in the question. Amount of drawings, the amount of drawings 30,000 and 20,000. Interest on drawings 1,800 and 1,200 rupees. So on the basis of this, we have calculated. Now the closing balance of capital is 19 lakh 40,700. 19 lakh 40,700 is the closing capital of Samir, and the closing capital of Yasmin is 12 lakh 80,800. 12 lakh 80,800 is the closing balance of Yasmin's capital account. So this is the fluctuating capital method. In the fluctuating capital method, only partner's capital account is prepared. That's it. So on the basis of such example, we have discussed how to prepare the capital accounts and the current accounts of the partners, or how we will calculate the amount of capital which is outstanding at the end of the year. So on the basis of this, we have discussed how to prepare capital account and the current account of the partners. Now we will discuss another example for the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account. Yadu, Madhu and Vidu are partners sharing profit and loss in the ratio 2:2:1. Means the profit sharing ratio of Yadu, Madhu and Vibhu is 2:2:1. The fixed capital on 1st April 2019 was, the amount of capital was Yadu 55 lakh rupees, Madhu 4 lakh rupees, Vidhu 3,50,000 rupees. This is the amount of fixed capital. As per the partnership deed, partners are entitled to interest on capital at the rate 5% per annum. Means the interest on capital is 5% per annum. And Yadu has to pay a salary 2,000 rupees per month. Means the Yadu will receive the amount of salary from the partnership firm is 2,000 rupees per month. While Vidhu would be receive the commission 18,000 rupees. Yadu will receive the amount of commission 18,000 rupees. The net loss of the firm as per the profit and loss account for the year ending was rupees 75,000 on the basis of above information. So prepare the profit and loss appropriation account for the calculation of amount of profit or loss as on 31st March. So solution: in the books of Yadu, Madhu and Vidhu, profit and loss appropriation account for the year ended 31st March 2019. So the amount of loss is 75,000 rupees. And such amount of the loss is to be distributed between Yadu, Madhu and Vidhu in the ratio 2:2:1. Such amount of the loss is to be distributed between Yadu, Madhu and Vidhu in ratio 2:2:1. Then the 75,000 will be distributed between these three partners. So Yadu 30,000, Madhu 30,000, Vidhu 50,000 rupees. So this is the preparation of profit and loss appropriation account. On the basis of this, we have understand how to distribute the amount of profit or the amount of loss among the partners. Now we will discuss interest on capital. We have already discussed profit and loss appropriation account. Now we will discuss interest on capital. How we will calculate the interest on capital and what will be the rate. No interest is allowed on the partnership capital. No interest is allowed on the partner's capital unless it is expressly agreed among the partners. Is that if the partnership deed is silent in the respect of interest on capital, then there will not be any amount is provided as the interest on capital. Means there is no amount of interest is allowed on the partner's capital. If the partnership deed contain the provision in the respect of interest on capital, then it will be credited to the partner's capital account. Otherwise, it will not be. When the deed specifically provides for it, then interest on capital is credited to the partner's capital account at the agreed rate. With the reference to the period for which capital remain in the business during the period. Interest on capital is generally provided for in two situations. Normally, the interest on capital is provided for two situations. Number one is when the partners contribute unequal amount of capital. Number one, when the partners contribute unequal amount of capital. When the partners contribute unequal amount of capital, but profit sharing ratio are equal. For the example, there are three partners A, B, and C. The profit sharing ratio is equal 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But the amount of capital which is introduced by A, B, and C is different. A introduced 1 lakh, B introduced 1.5 lakh, and C introduced 2 lakh rupees. So in this case, there is the requirement, or there may be the amount of interest on capital. And number two, when the capital contribution is same, but the profit sharing ratio is unequal. When the profit sharing ratio is unequal and the contribution is same, so in this case there is a requirement to interest on capital. For the example, ABC, there are three partners. The contribution is same, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. But the rate of profit sharing is different. So in this case, there is a requirement to calculate the amount of interest and pay the amount of interest. Interest on capital is calculated with due allowance for any addition or withdrawal of the capital during the accounting period. Is that the amount of interest on capital is calculated on the basis of due allowances. Is that if there is any addition or there is any deletion or there is any withdrawal during the period, then it will also be considered for the calculation of interest on capital. Is that during the period, if any addition or if any withdrawal for the capital, that it will also be considered for the calculate the amount of interest on capital. So this is the interest on capital. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. Now we will discuss an example how to calculate the amount of interest on capital. Mohini, Rashmi, and Naveen entered into a partnership, bringing into 3 lakh, 2 lakh, and 1 lakh rupees respectively. Means Mohini introduced 3 lakh rupees, Rashmi introduced 2 lakh rupees, Naveen introduced 1 lakh rupees. They decided to share the profit equally and agree that the interest on capital will be provided to the business 10% per annum. There was no addition or withdrawal of the capital by the partner during the year. There is no withdrawal or no introduction. So the amount of the capital will be In the case of Mohini, 3 lakh into 10%, 30,000. 2 lakh into 10%, 2 lakh into 10%, 2,000 rupees. So this is the amount of interest on capital in the case of Mohini or in the case of Rashmi. Now we will discuss an example in which we will prepare or we will calculate the capital, interest on capital of the partners. Saloni and Srishti are the partner in a firm. There are two partners in a firm. Their capital as on 1st April 2016 show the balance of rupees 2 lakh and 3 lakh respectively. Means the amount of capital as on 1st April 2016 is 2 lakh in the case of Saloni and 3 lakh in the case of Srishti. On 1st July 2016, Saloni introduced additional capital 50,000 and Srishti 60,000. On 1st October, Saloni withdrawal rupees 30,000 and on January 2016, Srishti withdrawn 15,000 rupees from the capital. Interest is allowed 8% per annum. So on the basis of such a detail, calculate the amount of interest on capital which is payable during the financial year 2016 and 17. So on the basis of these details, there is a requirement to calculate the interest which is payable on capital. So for the purpose of Saloni. Now first we will discuss the calculation of interest in the respect of Saloni. Interest on 2 lakh rupees. Interest on 2 lakh rupees for the period of 3 months, because after the 3 months it is introduced 50,000 rupees additionally. So 2 lakh into 8% into 3 months, it will be 4,000 rupees. Add interest on 2 lakh 50,000 because 50,000 is introduced by the Saloni. Then 2 lakh 50,000 into 8% for the period of 3 months, 5,000 rupees. And the amount of interest on 2 lakh 20,000 because 30,000 rupees are withdrawn by the Saloni. Then it will be 2 lakh 20,000 into 8% for the period of 6 months, 8,800 rupees. Then the total amount of interest on capital is 17,800 rupees in the case of Saloni. In the case of Saloni, total amount of interest on capital is 17,800 rupees. Now in the case of Srishti, interest on 3 lakh for the period of first 3 months. At the rate 8%, then it will be 60,300 rupees. 60,300 rupees is the amount of interest on capital plus interest on capital on 3,60,000 for the period of 6 months. For the period of 6 months till January, it will be 3,60,000 into 8% for the period of 6 months. It will be 14,400 rupees. 14,400 rupees, and add interest on 2,20,000 because such amount is withdrawn by the Srishti on 1st January. Then the amount will be, it is not 220, it is 3,45,000 because the 15,000 amount is withdrawn by Srishti. This is wrong. It will be interest on 3,45,000 for the period of 3 months. It will be 300 rupees. So the total amount of interest on capital 75,000 in the case of Srishti. So on the basis of such example, we have calculated the amount of interest on capital on the basis of addition and deletion. Now we will discuss interest on drawings. First, we have discussed interest on capital. Now we will discuss interest on drawings. The partnership agreement may provide for charging the interest on the money which is withdrawn out of the firm by the partner for their personal use. is that the partnership deed also contains the provision in the respect of amount, in the respect of interest on the amount which is withdrawn by the partner from the firm for their personal use. Is that for their partner, is that if there is any partner who want to withdraw some amount from his capital for the purpose of drawings, then the partnership agreement may contain the provision in the respect of interest on such withdrawal. Is that if the partnership deed is silent about the interest on drawings, then there will not be any amount which will be charged by the partnership firm in the respect of drawings. But if there is a provision or there is a rate, then the interest on the drawings will be charged. As stated earlier, no interest is charged on the drawings if it is not expressed in the partnership deed. If partnership deed so provide for it, then the interest is to be charged at the agreed rate for the period for which the drawings made. For which the made remained outstanding from the partners during the accounting period. Charging interest on the drawing discourage excessive amount of drawings by the partner. Is that when the partnership firm charges the amount of interest on drawings, then it will discourage excessive use of the it will discourage the excessive amount of drawings by the partner. Is that on the basis of this, the partner will not withdraw more amount for the purpose of their personal use. Now we will discuss it, how we will calculate the amount of interest on drawings. Number one, when fixed amount was withdrawn every month. When the fixed amount is withdrawn by the partners every month, then how we will calculate the amount of interest on drawings. Many a time a fixed amount of money is withdrawn by the partner. Many times a fixed amount is withdrawn by the partner from the capital account for the personal use at the equal interval, say monthly or quarterly. While calculating the time period, attention must be paid to whether fixed amount was withdrawn at the beginning of the month, middle of the month, or the end of the month. Instead, when we calculate the amount of interest on the drawings, there is a requirement to pay the attention in the respect whether such money is withdrawn at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, or at the middle of the month. If withdrawn on the first day of the every month, if such withdrawn is made at the first day of the every month, then the interest on total will be calculated. Then if the withdrawal on the first day of every month, then the interest on the total amount will be calculated for 6.5 years. Sorry, 6.5 months. If withdrawn at the end of the month, then it will be calculated for 5.5 months. And if drawings made during the month, then it will be calculated for 6 months. If in the beginning of the month, then for the 6.5 months. If the withdrawal is made at the end of the month, then 5.5 months. And if such withdrawal is made during the middle of month, then it will be calculated for 6 months. This is the procedure when fixed amounts are withdrawn every month. Number two, when varying amount are withdrawn at different intervals. When the variables and the varying amount are withdrawn by the partners for their personal use at the different intervals. When the partner withdraw different amount of the money at the different time interval, then the interest to be calculated by using the product method. If the different amount of drawings is withdrawn by the partner from their capital account, then the amount of then the amount of the drawings then the amount of the drawings is to be calculated by using the product method. Under this product method, the each cash withdrawn and the money which is withdrawn is multiplied by the period for which it remained withdrawn during the financial year. Is said in this method, for the each withdrawal, the money which is withdrawn is multiplied by the period for which it is remained withdrawn during the financial period. The period is calculated from the date of withdrawal to the last day of accounting period. The procedure is to be calculated are total on the total of product interest at the specific rate. Is that total of product into rate into 1 by 12. If it is for the 1 month, then total of product into rate into for the period of months. Number 3, when fixed amount is withdrawn quarterly. When the fixed amount is withdrawn quarterly. When fixed amount is withdrawn quarterly. When fixed amount of the money is withdrawn by the partner quarterly, then in this situation, when a particular amount is withdrawn by the partner quarterly, in this situation for the purpose of calculation of interest, the total period of time is determined, which is depending upon on whether the money was withdrawn at the beginning or at the end of each quarter. If the money is withdrawn at the beginning of quarter, then the interest is to be calculated on the total money withdrawn during the year. If the money is withdrawn at the beginning or at the end of the money is withdrawn at the beginning of each quarter, then the interest is calculated on the total money which is withdrawn during the period for the period of 7.5 months. And if the money is withdrawn at the end of each quarter, then it is to be calculated 4.5 months. It is to be calculated for the 4.5 months. So for the beginning, 7.5 months, and for ending, 4.5 months. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. Now on the basis of such example, we will calculate the amount of interest on the drawings. John Abraham, a partner in Modern Tours and Travel, withdraw money during the year ended 31st March 2017 from the capital for his personal use. Calculate the amount of interest on drawings in each of the following alternative situations. If the rate of interest on drawings is 9% per annum. Number 1, if he withdrawn 3,000 rupees per month at the beginning of month. Number 2 situation is if the amount of rupees 3,000 per month was withdrawn by him at the end of the month. Number 3, if the amount withdrawn were 12,000 on 1st June 2016, 8,000 on 31st August 2016, 3,000 on September 2016, 7,000 on 30 November 2016, and 6,000 on 31st January 2017. So on the basis of this situation, calculate the amount of interest on drawings. First, when the fixed amount 3,000 is withdrawn by him at the beginning of the period. So in this case, the amount of the interest will be calculated for the average period, which will be 6.5 months. Because as per the provision, if the amount is withdrawn, if the fixed amount is withdrawn at the every beginning of the month, then the amount of the interest for the average period of 6.5 months. So the amount of interest will be 36,000, 3,000 into 12 per month, 36,000 into 9% into 6.5 months. It will be 1,755 rupees. the amount of interest on drawings will be 1,755 rupees. Is that the partnership firm will charge 1,755 rupees as the amount of interest on drawings. Second point, when a fixed amount 3,000 rupees is withdrawn by the partner every month at the end of the month. If amount 3,000 is withdrawn by the partner every month at the end of the month, then as per the provision, the interest on drawings will be calculated on the average period of 5.5, means 5.5 months. Then the amount of interest will be 36,000 total amount of drawings in the year into 9% into 5.5 months. It will be 1,485 rupees. 1,485 rupees is the total amount of interest on drawings, which will be charged when the amount of the interest, when the amount of drawings is withdrawn at the end of the month and the amount of drawings is equal or it is fixed. In the third case, when the amount withdrawn on 1st June 2016, 12,000 rupees. Then June to 31st March, 10 months. Then the amount of the interest will be 12,000 into 9% into for the period of 10 months. It will be 900 rupees. Next, when the amount withdrawn on 31st August, 8,000 rupees. Then August to 31st March, it will be 7 months. Then 8,000 into 9% into for 7 months, 420 rupees. When the amount is withdrawn from 30 September, 3,000. Then September to March is 6 months. It will be, the amount of interest will be 3,000 into 9% into for the period of 6 months. It will be 135 rupees. The amount which is withdrawn by the partner on 30 November 2016, 7,000 rupees. Then November to March, it will be 4 months. Then 7,000 into 9% into for the period of 4 months. It will be 210 rupees. For the month of January, when the amount is withdrawn 6,000 rupees, then the amount of interest will be 6,000 into 9% into for the 2 months, January to March, means February and March, for the period of February and March, 2 months, into 90 rupees amount of interest on drawings. Then the total amount of interest on drawings is 1,755 rupees. The total amount of drawings is 1,755 rupees. So, on the basis of such question, we have discussed these 3 points or 3 methods how to calculate the interest on drawings. So, on the basis of such example, we have understood the calculation of interest on drawings. In case when the fixed amount is withdrawn at the beginning of month, when the first amount is withdrawn at the end of the month, and when the different amount is withdrawn for the in the different month or different period. When dates of the withdrawn are not specific, when the dates of the withdrawn are not specified, when the total amount of the withdrawn is given but the dates of the withdrawals are not specified, then it is assumed that the amount was withdrawn evenly throughout the year. If the amount is given but the dates are not specified, then it will be considered that the money withdrawn evenly throughout the year. For the example, Shakila withdrawn 60,000 from the partnership. Shakila withdrawn 60,000 rupees from the partnership during the period ending 31st March 2020. And interest on drawings is to be charged at the rate 8% per annum. So, for the calculation of interest, the period would be taken as 6 months, which is average period XUV. Then the amount of interest on drawings will be 2,400. 60,000 into 8% for the period of 6 months. Is that the amount of the interest will be 2,400. Is that when the date is not mentioned. So it will be assumed that the amount withdrawn eventually throughout the year. Guarantee of profit to the partner. Guarantee of the profit to the partner. Sometimes a partner is admitted into the firm with a guarantee to certain minimum amount by the way of his share of profit of the firm. Is that in the case of partnership firm, sometimes a partner is entered into the firm with the guarantee of certain minimum amount which will be received by the way of his share of profit of the firm. Such assurance may be given by all the old partners in the certain ratio or by any of the old partners individually. The minimum guarantee amount shall be paid to such new partner when his share of profit as per the profit and loss ratio is less than the guaranteed amount. Is that in this case, if the amount of the profit is less than the guaranteed amount, then the other partners will pay the amount of least amount will be paid. Least amount will be paid by the partnership firm to compensate such guaranteed amount. So this is the topic, or this is the point in the respect of guarantee of the profit to the partner. Means such new partner will be eligible to take a guaranteed amount of profit. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. John and Martha share profit and loss in the ratio 3:2. They admit Mohanty into their firm. 2:1:6 means 1 divided by 6, 1/6 part of profit. John personally guaranteed that Monthe share of profit after charging interest on capital at a 10% per annum would not be less than 30,000 in any year. The capital provided was as follows: John 2,50,000, Mather 2 lakh, and Monte 1,50,000. The profit for the year ended 31st March 2015 was rupees 1,50,000 after providing interest on capital. Show the profit and loss appropriation account if new profit sharing ratio is 3:2:1. So the amount of net profit is 1,50,000. We will reduce the amount of interest. In the case of John, it is 25,000. In the case of Mentha, 20,000. In the case of Monty, 15,000. Because the rate of the interest on capital is 10%. Total amount is 60,000 rupees. The capital account shared info: John 45,000 less share of deficiency 15,000 means Morthe will receive 15,000 and the guarantee is given by John. So as per the ratio, he will receive only 15,000. So the 15,000 will be sacrificed by the John. So the John will receive 30,000 rupees amount of profit, 45,000, and he will sacrifice 15,000. So 30,000 John amount of profit, Manthe 25,000, sorry 30,000, and Monte is also 30,000 as per fixed. So such amount is bifurcated between these all the partners, these three partners. So on the basis of such example, we have discussed if there is any guarantee which is given by the partner, then he will compensate such amount of if the amount of profit is less to the guaranteed partner. Working note: profit after interest on capital is 90,000, which is to be divided in the ratio 3:2:1. John get 55,000, Matthew get 30,000, and the Mohanty get 15,000. Deficiency of Mohante from the guaranteed profit is 15,000, which will be borne by John. Then the John will sacrifice 15,000 and his actual amount 30,000. So the profit will be shared between these three partners, 30,000, 30,000 and 30,000. Now we will discuss past adjustment. There are some past adjustment which are also required to be adjusted in the case of partnership. Sometimes a few error and the omission in the recording of transaction or the preparation of the summary statement are found after the final account has been prepared. After the preparation and after the finalization of financial account, there are some errors and the omissions are found and which have effect on the amount of profit. The omission may be in the respect of interest on capital. Such an error and the omission may be related to the interest on capital. It may be related to the interest on drawings, interest on partner's loan, partner's salary, partner's commission, or the outstanding expenses. There may also be some changes in the provision of partnership deed or the system of accounting. All these acts of error and the omission is required to be adjusted for the correct impact or for the correct calculation of profit and the capitals. Instead of altering old account, necessary adjustment can be made. Instead, no need to update old account. Such necessary adjustment can be made either through the profit and loss account or directly in the capital account of the concerned partner. Instead, we can make such updates by through the profit and loss account or directly in the capitals account of the concerned partner. Now we will discuss it by the way of example. Nusrat, Sonu and Himesh are partners sharing profit and loss in the ratio 5:3:2. The partnership deed provides for charging interest on capital at the rate 10%. Means the interest on drawings is 10%. The drawings of Nusrat, Sonu and Himesh during the year ended 31st March is 20,000. Drawings is 20,000, 15,000 and the 10,000. After the final accounts have been prepared, it was discovered that interest on drawings has not been taken into consideration. So, on the basis of this, there is a requirement to pass the journal entries. In this case, the statement showing the net effect of omitting interest on drawings. Amount should have been way of interest on drawings 2,000, 15,000, 2,000, 1,500 and 1,000. Total 4,500 will be debited. An amount that should have been required the adjustment 2,000, 250, 1,000, 350 and 900 means 4,500. 4,500. In this case, the entry will be Sonu's capital account debit 150, Sonu's capital account debit 150, Himesh capital account debit 100 rupees to Nusrat capital account 250 rupees. Nusrat capital account 250 rupees. So such entry is to be passed in the books of account of the such partnership firm so that they can calculate the amount of actual profit and they can maintain the partner's capital account fairly. So these adjustment of error and the omission is required to be made in the partner's capital account to adjust the capital account fairly. So on the basis of such topics, we have discussed part 2 of such a topic, in which we have discussed all other relevant points and accounting for the partnership. In this video, we have considered all other important points which are required to be considered for the purpose of accounting. So there are some other partnership videos, just like dissolution of partner, admission of partner, death of partner, retirement of partner, which will also be important to for the partnership concept. Thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly consider part 1 of this topic also, so that you can understand the full concept of accounting for partnership. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.